September's cosmic forces are aligning specifically for you, Capricorn, in ways we haven't seen in 7 years. This isn't just another monthly forecast. This is a cosmic alarm bell ringing exclusively for your sign. The planetary positions forming in your chart right now are nothing short of extraordinary, creating energy patterns that will fundamentally alter your life trajectory if you're prepared to harness them. I've been studying the stars for over 15 years, and I can tell you with absolute certainty, what's happening in your chart this September is rare. The last time we saw a similar configuration was in 2018, and Capricorns who recognized and prepared for that shift experienced remarkable breakthroughs in the years that followed. Those who missed it, they've been asking me ever since what they could have done differently. That's precisely why I couldn't wait to create this video for you. The urgency of these alignments demanded immediate attention. Take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. You'll want to stay connected as these predictions materialize in real time throughout September. The messages I've received from Capricorns who followed last month's guidance have been overwhelming. Sarah wrote to me, "After positioning myself exactly as you suggested during the Leo season, I received a promotion offer that seemed to materialize out of nowhere. My colleagues were shocked, but I knew exactly what celestial forces were at work." Michael shared, "That investment opportunity you predicted would appear during the last quarter moon. It arrived precisely on that day, and I was ready because of your warning." These aren't coincidences, Capricorn. The stars speak a language of mathematical precision, and your sign, ruled by disciplined Saturn, is uniquely equipped to translate cosmic timing into concrete results. But even your naturally strategic mind needs advance notice when shifts of this magnitude approach. What makes September so pivotal for your sign specifically? It's the rare convergence of 12 distinct cosmic events, all activating the most consequential houses in your natal chart simultaneously. Think of it as 12 powerful spotlights suddenly illuminating different corners of your life at once, revealing opportunities and pathways that have been developing in darkness. Most people experience perhaps 1 or 2 significant transits in a given month. You're facing 12. The mathematical probability of this happening is so slim that when I first calculated your September aspects, I rechecked my ephemeris 3 times to confirm what I was seeing. The energies building towards you now have been gathering momentum since the spring equinox. You've likely felt increasing pressure in certain life areas, career decisions that can no longer be postponed, relationship dynamics reaching critical turning points, financial matters demanding resolution, and an internal restlessness signaling that something significant approaches. That restlessness is your intuitive connection to cosmic rhythms, your body's way of preparing you for imminent change. The ambitious Capricorn who recognizes these signals and aligns with them will experience September not as chaotic disruption, but as purposeful transformation. I've analyzed thousands of Capricorn charts over the years, and I can identify precisely which Capricorns will thrive during this period. Those who approach these cosmic shifts with preparation rather than reaction. The universe rewards the prepared mind, especially for an earth sign like yours that thrives on practical application of cosmic wisdom. What exactly is changing? Everything from your professional landscape to your deepest relationships, from your financial structures to your spiritual foundation. The comprehensive nature of this transformation is what makes September a genuine turning point, rather than just another month in your journey. As we explore the 12 specific reasons you need to prepare, you'll understand exactly why I've been anticipating this period for you with such intensity. The first 3 reasons focus on dramatic shifts in your career and financial sectors, areas where Capricorns naturally excel, but which are about to transform in ways that even your strategic mind couldn't anticipate without cosmic foresight. The first reason, Saturn's retrograde ends, bringing clarity to career decisions. Saturn, your celestial ruler, has been retrograde since April, casting a shadow of uncertainty over your professional life. This retrograde period hasn't been coincidental. It's been a cosmically designed incubation phase, forcing you to reconsider pathways you previously dismissed and reevaluate commitments you made perhaps too hastily. Many Capricorns have reported feeling strangely stalled during these past months, as though pushing against an invisible barrier. That sensation isn't your imagination. It's Saturn's restraining influence, purposefully slowing your trajectory. But mid-September brings Saturn's direct motion, and with it comes a clarity so profound, it may feel like emerging from a fog-covered landscape into sharp, crystalline daylight. This shift doesn't merely suggest minor career adjustments. It promises revelatory insights about your professional purpose, the decisions that have kept you awake at night, the options you've been weighing with that characteristic Capricorn thoroughness suddenly align into obvious choices. What makes this Saturn direct phase particularly powerful for you is its position relative to your 10th house of career and public recognition. This only happens once every 29 years, a once-in-a-generation opportunity to recalibrate your professional trajectory with cosmic precision. The last time Saturn occupied this exact position in your chart, look back at what major career foundations were established. This phase echoes that period, but with the accumulated wisdom you've gained since. I've worked with Capricorns who've experienced this transition, and without exception, they describe it as though previously scattered puzzle pieces suddenly form a coherent picture. One client, a Capricorn who had been considering 3 different career paths for months, woke up the very day Saturn went direct with absolute certainty about her direction. Another found that a job opportunity he'd been pursuing unsuccessfully suddenly materialized through an unexpected connection on the exact day of Saturn's direct motion. The key to harnessing this first reason for September's transformation lies in preparation. In these final weeks of Saturn's retrograde, gather all the professional options you've been considering. Document your thoughts, ambitions, and hesitations. This cosmic clarity works most powerfully on minds that have done the preliminary work. Saturn rewards thorough preparation, not passive waiting. The second reason, a rare Venus-Jupiter trine activates your wealth sector between September 7th and 12th. Venus and Jupiter form a perfect trine aspect, one of the most financially fortunate configurations possible, directly activating your wealth sector. This isn't merely a favorable period for money matters. It represents a cosmic wealth portal that opens briefly but powerfully. To understand the significance of this aspect, consider that Jupiter represents expansion, abundance, and opportunity, while Venus governs values, resources, and attraction. When these benefic planets communicate harmoniously through a trine aspect, they create conditions for financial growth that require minimal effort but yield maximum results. What makes this particular Venus-Jupiter trine exceptional is its occurrence in Earth signs, magnifying its practical effects specifically for your Earth-ruled Capricorn energy. The universe quite literally speaks your language during this period, translating cosmic opportunities into tangible material benefits. Historical data from previous Venus-Jupiter trines shows that Capricorns who take specific financial actions during this window often experience returns that defy ordinary probability. One Capricorn I advised invested in a particular sector during the last Venus-Jupiter trine and saw his investment triple within 6 months. Another used this aspect to negotiate a compensation package that exceeded industry standards by 40%. The key to maximizing this aspect lies in taking concrete, values-aligned financial actions during the 5-day window. This isn't about reckless risk, but about strategic positioning. Consider which investments, negotiations, or financial proposals you've been contemplating. The period between September 7th and 12th offers cosmic momentum for these initiatives, particularly those involving real estate, sustainable resources, or technologies aligned with your core values. Most critically, this Venus-Jupiter trine activates your subconscious attraction mechanisms. Financial opportunities don't merely appear by chance during this period. They manifest in response to your deepest values and intentions. Clarify exactly what financial growth means to you beyond abstract numbers. The universe responds most generously to Capricorns who align their material ambitions with authentic purpose during this rare configuration. The third reason, the harvest full moon illuminates hidden resources. September 17th brings the harvest full moon in your 8th house of shared resources, illuminating financial matters that have been developing in darkness. This isn't an ordinary full moon, but one that occurs at a critical degree in your chart, creating what astrologers call a karmic revealing, a moment when previously hidden assets, inheritance matters, or collaborative opportunities suddenly come to light. The 8th house governs not just your own resources, but those you share with others, business partnerships, investments, inheritances, and even psychic or energetic resources you haven't fully acknowledged. The harvest full moon specifically illuminates what has been growing beneath the surface, now ready for recognition and utilization. What makes this lunar event particularly significant is its timing relative to your personal Jupiter cycle. For most Capricorns, this represents the culmination of financial seeds planted approximately 6 months ago. Reflect on the financial initiatives, relationships, or investments you began developing in March. This full moon brings them to fruition or reveals critical information about their potential. The illumination this moon provides isn't merely informational, it carries transformative potential. Many Capricorns experience breakthrough realizations about wealth during this phase, particularly regarding unconscious beliefs that have limited their financial expansion. One Capricorn client described her experience during a similar 8th house full moon as finally seeing the abundance that had been surrounding me all along, invisible until that moment. This full moon also highlights collaborative financial opportunities. Business partnerships that might transform your resource landscape often emerge during this phase. Pay particular attention to conversations with financial advisors, business partners, or family members regarding shared assets during the 3 days surrounding September 17th. The 8th house also governs psychological resources, inner strengths and capabilities you haven't fully utilized. This full moon often reveals latent talents with monetization potential. I've witnessed Capricorns suddenly recognize how to transform long-held skills into lucrative opportunities precisely during such lunar illuminations. To harness this third reason for September's transformative potential, conduct a thorough inventory of your resources, not just financial accounts, but skills, relationships, and untapped opportunities. The harvest full moon illuminates what you already possess, but haven't fully recognized or utilized. The Capricorns who benefit most powerfully from this lunar event are those who approach it with deliberate receptivity rather than rigid expectations. These 3 initial reasons, Saturn's clarifying direct motion, the Venus-Jupiter financial trine, and the revealing harvest full moon, create unprecedented conditions for professional and financial advancement. They form the foundation of September's transformative potential, establishing the material security that enables the personal and relational transformations we'll explore next. What makes these cosmic events particularly powerful when combined is their sequential timing. They unfold in a deliberate progression, each building upon the energy of the previous event. Saturn's clarity enables confident decision-making during the Venus-Jupiter trine, which then creates the material foundation illuminated by the harvest full moon. The universe has choreographed these events with remarkable precision, specifically for Capricorn's benefit. As we move into the next section, we'll explore how these professional and financial shifts enable powerful communication breakthroughs that will reshape your network and influence. The material foundation established through these first 3 cosmic events creates the platform from which your voice can finally reach its intended audience with unprecedented impact. The 4th reason, Mercury enters your 10th house, creating perfect timing for crucial conversations. Mercury, the cosmic messenger, enters your 10th house of career and public recognition on September 5th, initiating a 3-week period where your words carry extraordinary weight and influence. This transit doesn't merely enhance your communication, it strategically positions your voice in professional contexts where it matters most. During this rare alignment, authority figures become unusually receptive to your ideas, perspectives, and proposals. What distinguishes this particular Mercury transit is its conjunction with your mid-heaven point, the highest position in your chart governing reputation and achievement. This precise alignment happens only once annually, but this year It occurs while Mercury is in an Earth sign, creating a resonant frequency with your Capricorn energy that amplifies its effects exponentially. The practical implications of this fourth cosmic reason are profound. Conversations that would typically require months of preparation and multiple meetings can be condensed into single, high-impact exchanges. Proposals that might ordinarily face bureaucratic resistance move forward with surprising momentum. Your ideas register not just intellectually, but emotionally with decision makers, creating advocates rather than mere listeners. I've observed this Mercury transit transform the careers of numerous Capricorns. One client, who had unsuccessfully pitched her project 3 times, finally received enthusiastic approval during this transit, with virtually the identical presentation, but dramatically different results. Another found himself spontaneously invited to speak at an industry conference after a casual conversation with an organizer, leading to a pivotal career connection. The key to maximizing this Mercury influence lies in strategic communication planning. Identify the 3 most consequential conversations your career advancement requires. Schedule these specifically during Mercury's 10th house transit, with particular emphasis on September 9th to 11, when Mercury forms a perfect trine with your ruler Saturn. These 3 days offer a communication window so favorable that even typically reserved Capricorns find themselves speaking with unusual eloquence and persuasiveness. This Mercury transit doesn't just enhance your external communication, it clarifies your internal dialogue about professional identity. Many Capricorns experience breakthroughs in how they conceptualize their career path during this period. Finally finding precise language for ambitions they've struggled to articulate even to themselves. The 5th reason, Mars energizes your communication sector, giving your words unprecedented persuasive power. Throughout September, Mars, the planet of action, assertion, and energy, occupies your 3rd house of communication, infusing your words with a compelling force that others find difficult to resist. This isn't about aggression, but about the energetic weight behind your expression, a quality that transforms even casual statements into catalysts for action. Unlike Mercury, which governs the precision and clarity of communication, Mars influences its impact and penetration. When Mars activates your communication sector, your words don't merely inform, they motivate, inspire, and occasionally provoke exactly the reactions needed for your advancement. What makes this Mars transit particularly significant is its harmonious aspect to your Saturn-ruled 1st house, creating a direct channel between your authentic self-expression and your communication. This alignment happens only once every 2 years, making September 2025 a rare window where your words carry the full weight of your character and conviction. The effects of this Mars transit manifest in several distinct ways. First, you'll likely notice an unusual responsiveness to your communications. Emails receive faster replies, phone calls connect on first attempt, and conversations flow with minimal resistance. Second, your ability to cut through confusion and articulate core issues becomes almost surgical in its precision. Finally, your capacity to motivate others through speech reaches unprecedented levels, particularly valuable for Capricorns in leadership positions. I've tracked the impact of this Mars transit across hundreds of Capricorn charts, and the pattern is consistent. This period correlates with communication breakthroughs that advance professional objectives with remarkable efficiency. One Capricorn executive finalized a negotiation during this transit that had stalled for months simply by restating his position with the energetic clarity Mars provided. Another used this period to create marketing materials that doubled client response rates. To harness this 5th cosmic reason effectively, deliberately address communication challenges that have resisted previous efforts. That difficult conversation you've been postponing, the proposal that needs persuasive reinforcement, the boundary that requires clear articulation. Mars provides the energetic fuel to transform these communication challenges into opportunities for advancement. Most critically, this Mars transit supports courageous communication, expressing perspectives you've previously censored out of diplomatic caution. The cosmic protection Mars provides during September creates a rare window where authentic expression accelerates rather than impedes your progress, particularly regarding career ambitions and professional boundaries. The sixth reason. Jupiter forms a supportive aspect to Saturn, creating a rare window for expressing your deepest ambitions. The relationship between Jupiter and Saturn, cosmic forces of expansion and contraction, shapes the fundamental rhythm of achievement for all signs, but particularly for Saturn-ruled Capricorn. During September, these planetary titans form a sextile aspect, creating a harmonious dialogue between opportunity and structure that occurs only once every 6 years. This Jupiter-Saturn sextile specifically activates the communication axis of your chart, creating ideal conditions for expressing ambitions that you've previously kept private, either from strategic caution or fear of overreaching. Jupiter's expansive influence temporarily liberates you from the conservative restraint that Saturn typically imposes, allowing you to articulate goals of a magnitude that might ordinarily feel presumptuous. What makes this sixth cosmic reason particularly transformative is its timing relative to your Saturn return cycle. For Capricorns between 2730 or 5760, this aspect represents a critical turning point in your relationship with ambition itself. For all other Capricorns, it creates a preview of expanded possibilities that will crystallize into concrete opportunities over the coming 6 months. The practical applications of this Jupiter-Saturn dialogue are numerous. First, it creates ideal conditions for communicating long-term visions to potential allies, investors, or supporters. The aspect helps bridge the gap between ambitious vision and practical implementation, a translation challenge that often plagues Capricorn communication. Second, this cosmic configuration supports networking that transcends your usual professional circles. Jupiter temporarily expands your communication range, connecting you with individuals and opportunities beyond your established network. Meanwhile, Saturn ensures these connections have practical, lasting value rather than mere inspirational appeal. I've witnessed remarkable expansions during similar Jupiter-Saturn aspects. One Capricorn client used this transit to finally articulate a business vision she'd been developing privately for years. The response was so overwhelmingly positive that she secured funding within weeks. Another found himself spontaneously discussing his career aspirations with an industry leader at a conference, leading to a mentorship that transformed his professional trajectory. The key to maximizing this sixth reason lies in deliberate vulnerability regarding your highest ambitions. This doesn't mean indiscriminate sharing, but strategic articulation of your vision to individuals positioned to advance it. Jupiter provides the expansive confidence, while Saturn ensures your expression remains grounded in achievable reality, a perfect balance for Capricorn communication. These three communication-focused cosmic reasons, Mercury's 10th house activation, Mars energizing your expression, and the Jupiter-Saturn dialogue, create unprecedented conditions for advancing through strategic conversation. The Capricorns who benefit most substantially from September's transformative potential are those who recognize that this month represents not just a time for action, but for precisely calibrated communication that catalyzes that action. What distinguishes these communication aspects from ordinary planetary transits is their sequential reinforcement. Mercury establishes the intellectual framework, Mars provides the energetic fuel, and the Jupiter-Saturn aspect ensures your communication bridges vision and practicality. This cosmic choreography creates a communication environment so favorable that even naturally reserved Capricorns find themselves expressing with unusual confidence and impact. As we transition to the next section, we'll explore how these external communication breakthroughs enable profound internal transformations, psychological shifts that permanently elevate your capacity for achievement and fulfillment. The voice you find during September's communication window becomes the instrument through which you'll articulate a new vision of yourself and your potential. The seventh reason, a potent new moon activates your transformation zone. September 3rd brings a new moon of exceptional potency in your 8th house. The psychological depths of your chart associated with profound transformation, release, and rebirth. This lunation doesn't merely suggest minor adjustments, but initiates a complete metamorphosis of limiting beliefs about success and achievement that have unconsciously restricted your progress. What distinguishes this particular new moon is its precise alignment with Pluto, the planet of profound transformation. This creates what astrologers call a rebirth portal, a cosmic gateway through which you can consciously release outdated versions of yourself and emerge renewed. For traditionally cautious Capricorn, this lunation offers a rare opportunity to shed the psychological armor that has both protected and constrained you. The 8th house governs not just external resources, but your relationship with power itself, how you acquire it, wield it, and sometimes sabotage it through unconscious fears. This new moon illuminates the specific limiting beliefs about success that have become so familiar, you've ceased recognizing them as optional rather than inevitable. Perhaps it's the belief that achievement requires sacrifice of personal fulfillment, or that authority must be earned through struggle rather than alignment, or that security demands rigid control rather than strategic flexibility. I've guided numerous Capricorns through similar 8th house new moons, and the pattern is consistent. This transit correlates with profound revelations about self-imposed limitations. One client suddenly recognized how her belief that visibility invites criticism had kept her from pursuing leadership positions despite her exceptional qualifications. Another realized his assumption that wealth requires constant vigilance had created a relationship with money characterized by anxiety rather than confidence. The transformative potential of this 7th cosmic reason lies in deliberate ritual and reflection. The 48 hours surrounding September Sod offer a powerful window for conscious release work. Write down the specific beliefs about success, power, and achievement that have limited your expression. Create a personal ritual of release, whether through meditation, journaling, or symbolic action. The new moon responds powerfully to intentional release work, particularly when conducted with clear awareness of what you're choosing to leave behind. What makes this 8th house new moon particularly significant for Capricorns is its connection to your ruling planet Saturn. The aspect between the lunation and Saturn creates a direct channel between your conscious intentions for transformation and the structures of your life. This cosmic alignment ensures that internal shifts catalyze concrete external changes rather than remaining purely psychological insights. The 8th reason, the fall equinox, triggers a significant shift in your self-perception. The fall equinox on September 22nd marks the sun's entry into Libra and your 10th house of career, public recognition, and life purpose. This annual transition takes on extraordinary significance in 2025 due to its precise alignment with your natal Saturn, creating a cosmic spotlight on your authentic calling rather than the career path you may have pursued from obligation. This equinox doesn't merely shift seasons, but fundamentally reorients your relationship with ambition itself. The equal balance of light and darkness that characterizes the equinox creates optimal conditions for recognizing how your authentic purpose may differ from the goals you've pursued from duty or external expectation, a distinction particularly relevant for duty-oriented Capricorn. What distinguishes this equinox from ordinary seasonal transitions is its activation of the Saturn-Neptune square in your chart. This challenging aspect between your ruler Saturn, structure, responsibility, and Neptune, dreams, intuition, has been creating tension between pragmatic demands and spiritual fulfillment. The equinox illuminates the specific adjustments needed to integrate these seemingly contradictory drives into a coherent life direction. The practical implications of this 8th cosmic reason manifest as revelations about career alignment. Many Capricorns experience profound clarity during this period about which professional activities feel energizing rather than depleting, a crucial distinction for a sign prone to enduring challenging work environments out of sheer determination. This clarity often arrives through unexpected channels. Dreams become unusually vivid and relevant. Casual comments from others suddenly reveal profound insight, or long-ignored intuitive nudges become impossible to dismiss. I've witnessed remarkable self-perception shifts during similar equinox transits. One Capricorn executive suddenly recognized that her true fulfillment came not from advancing in corporate leadership, but from mentoring emerging talent, a realization that led to restructuring her role without sacrificing her achievement. Another discovered that his entrepreneurial ventures succeeded when aligned with environmental values, but struggled when pursuing profit alone, leading to a strategic pivot that doubled both impact and income. To harness this equinox energy effectively, create deliberate space for reflection on career fulfillment versus obligation. The 3 days surrounding September 22nd offer optimal conditions for distinguishing between paths you've pursued from external expectation and directions that resonate with your authentic purpose. The cosmic alignment supports clarity without requiring immediate action. This is about recognition first, with implementation following naturally as the insights integrate. The 9th reason, Pluto's direct motion resolves a long-standing internal power struggle. After September 22nd, Pluto, the planet of profound transformation and psychological power, stations direct after 5 months of retrograde motion. This directional shift doesn't merely affect external circumstances, but fundamentally resolves an internal power struggle that has repeatedly undermined your efforts at sustainable achievement. Pluto's retrograde period since April has been a necessary psychological excavation, bringing to consciousness the specific power dynamics, control patterns, and fear responses that have shaped your approach to ambition. This hasn't been comfortable work, but it has been essential preparation for September's resolution and release. What makes Pluto's direct station particularly significant is its position relative to your first house of identity and self-expression. This creates a direct channel between deep psychological material and conscious awareness, allowing you to recognize and release control patterns that once served as protection, but now limit your expansion. The psychological power struggle Pluto illuminates often involves conflicting internal voices: the ambitious achiever versus the security-seeking traditionalist, the innovative leader versus the cautious strategist, the authentic self versus the socially conditioned persona. Pluto's direct motion doesn't eliminate this multiplicity, but orchestrates a more harmonious relationship between these aspects of self, integration rather than fragmentation. I've tracked Pluto transits across hundreds of Capricorn charts, and the pattern during direct stations is consistent. This period correlates with breakthroughs in releasing psychological patterns that have created recurring obstacles. One Capricorn client finally recognized how her fear of inadequacy drove perfectionism that paradoxically prevented project completion. Another identified how his unconscious association between wealth and guilt had created a pattern of self-sabotage precisely when financial success appeared imminent. The transformative potential of this 9th cosmic reason lies in conscious engagement with shadow material. The week surrounding September 22nd offers optimal conditions for examining the specific fears, control patterns, or power dynamics that have created recurring obstacles in your life. Pluto responds powerfully to psychological honesty, the willingness to acknowledge uncomfortable patterns without judgment or avoidance. What distinguishes this Pluto station from ordinary psychological introspection is its integration with your Saturn-ruled practical nature. The aspect between Pluto and Saturn during this period ensures that psychological insights translate directly into concrete behavioral adjustments rather than remaining abstract understanding. This cosmic support for practical application transforms potentially overwhelming shadow work into strategic self-optimization. These 3 transformative cosmic reasons, the 8th house new moon, the illuminating fall equinox, and Pluto's integrative direct motion, create unprecedented conditions for psychological rebirth. The Capricorns who benefit most profoundly from September's transformative potential are those who recognize that external achievement flows most effortlessly from internal coherence. What makes these psychological transits particularly powerful when combined is their progressive deepening. The new moon initiates conscious release of limiting beliefs. The equinox illuminates authentic purpose beyond obligation. And Pluto's direct motion integrates shadow material that would otherwise undermine sustainable achievement. This cosmic choreography creates a psychological environment so favorable for transformation that even naturally cautious Capricorns find themselves embracing profound change with unusual confidence. The personal metamorphosis catalyzed by these three cosmic events doesn't occur in isolation, but directly enhances your capacity for meaningful connection and creative expression. The psychological integration you achieve during September creates the foundation for unprecedented authenticity in relationships and innovative breakthroughs in creative endeavors, the focus of our next exploration. As we transition to examining how September's cosmic forces will transform your creative expression and relationship dynamics, remember that these psychological breakthroughs aren't merely introspective exercises, but practical foundations for external achievement. The internal coherence you establish during this transformative period becomes the source from which authentic leadership and sustainable success naturally emerge. The 10th reason: Neptune aligns with your 5th house, bringing unprecedented creative inspiration. A rare cosmic alignment forms in September, as Neptune in Pisces creates a flowing trine aspect with your 5th house of creativity, self-expression, and authentic joy. This configuration opens channels of inspiration that transcend ordinary problem-solving and analytical thinking, accessing instead the realm of intuitive knowing and creative breakthrough that often eludes practically oriented Capricorn. What distinguishes this Neptune alignment from ordinary creative phases is its harmonious integration with your Earth element. Rather than creative inspiration that remains ethereal and impractical, this cosmic configuration specifically supports bringing abstract concepts into tangible, marketable form. The universe offers not just inspiration, but the pathway toward its concrete manifestation. The 5th house governs not just artistic expression, but all forms of authentic creation, including business innovation, leadership approaches, and strategic vision. During this Neptune activation, pay particular attention to ideas that arrive through non-rational channels, dreams, meditation, seemingly random insights, or that elusive state between wakefulness and sleep where the conscious and subconscious minds communicate directly. The practical implications of this 10th cosmic reason are substantial, particularly for Capricorns in leadership, entrepreneurial, or creative professional roles. Projects that have stalled due to excessive analysis or conventional thinking suddenly find breakthrough solutions through intuitive leaps. Creative approaches that might ordinarily seem too innovative or unconventional suddenly find receptive audiences and practical applications. I've witnessed remarkable creative breakthroughs during similar Neptune transits. One Capricorn entrepreneur suddenly conceived a business model innovation during meditation that transformed her company's profitability after months of analytical dead ends. Another found himself spontaneously sketching a product design that addressed technical challenges his team had struggled with for weeks, the solution arriving not through deliberate problem solving, but through receptivity to intuitive insight. To harness this Neptune-activated creative potential, deliberately cultivate receptive states during September. Allocate time for meditation, contemplative walks, or creative play without specific objectives. Neptune responds powerfully to surrender rather than pursuit, to creating space for inspiration rather than demanding its appearance. The most significant breakthroughs often arrive when you temporarily suspend the goal-oriented focus that characterizes typical Capricorn approach. What makes this Neptune transit particularly valuable is its potential for generating intellectual property and creative assets with long-term value. The insights and innovations that emerge during this period often develop into lucrative side projects, signature methodologies, or distinctive approaches that differentiate you professionally for years to come. The 11th reason: a rare planetary configuration in Earth signs amplifies your natural strengths. September brings an unusual concentration of planetary energy in Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and your own Capricorn, creating what astrologers call an elemental emphasis, a cosmic amplification of the qualities associated with your natural element. This Earth sign predominance doesn't merely enhance your typical strengths, but elevates them to unprecedented levels of effectiveness and recognition. The earth element governs practicality, manifestation, resource management, and the capacity to transform vision into tangible results. During September, these capabilities receive cosmic amplification through a grand trine configuration connecting 6 planets in Earth signs, a rare alignment that occurs only once every 12 to 15 years and creates conditions for remarkable material productivity. What distinguishes this 11th cosmic reason is its enhancement of your innate Capricorn strengths rather than demanding adaptation to unfamiliar energies. While other signs might find this Earth emphasis constraining or overly practical, you experience it as cosmic validation of your natural approach, a period where the universe particularly rewards your methodical thoroughness, strategic patience, and resource wisdom. The practical implications manifest across multiple domains. First, projects requiring sustained focus and methodical implementation progress with unusual efficiency. What might ordinarily require months condenses into weeks through this elemental support. Second, your capacity to identify structural flaws and practical solutions reaches almost preternatural levels of accuracy. Finally, your natural authority receives external recognition and validation, particularly from institutions and individuals who previously might have overlooked your quiet competence. I've observed this earth element emphasis transform the effectiveness of numerous Capricorns. One client who had struggled to gain traction with her sustainability initiatives suddenly found institutional support and resource allocation during a similar configuration, her practical approach finally receiving recognition after months of advocacy. Another experienced unprecedented productivity in manuscript development, completing in 3 weeks what would ordinarily require 3 months. To maximize this elemental support, deliberately emphasize your natural Capricorn strengths rather than attempting to adopt more flamboyant or expansive approaches during September. The cosmic configuration specifically rewards authentic JJJ expression of your methodical, thorough, and resourceful nature. The universe has temporarily aligned to validate precisely the qualities that distinguish Capricorn at its best. What makes this earth element emphasis particularly valuable is its timing relative to your personal growth cycle. For most Capricorns, September 2025 represents a critical integration point where years of skill development and experience culminate in masterful expression. The cosmic support for your natural approach arrives precisely when your capabilities have reached optimal development. The 12th reason, the North Node, suggests a fated encounter with a pivotal connection. The North Node, representing your evolutionary path and future development, forms a significant aspect with your 7th house of relationships and partnerships during September. This cosmic alignment creates conditions for a fated encounter with an individual who will play an instrumental role in your long-term ambitions and legacy. What distinguishes this nodal activation from ordinary networking opportunities is its karmic quality. This connection carries the unmistakable signature of destiny, often feeling simultaneously surprising yet oddly familiar. The North Node doesn't bring casual connections, but individuals whose presence catalyzes your development in specific, necessary directions. The 7th house governs not just romantic partnerships, but all significant one-to-one relationships, including business collaborators, mentors, clients, and strategic allies. The nodal activation specifically highlights connections that bridge current capabilities and future potential. Individuals who recognize qualities in you that you may not yet fully acknowledge yourself. Be particularly attentive to new connections made between September 15th to 20th, when the nodal aspect reaches maximum potency. These dates offer a concentrated window for encounters that may initially seem circumstantial, but eventually reveal their pivotal significance. The individual may appear in seemingly random contexts, industry events, casual social gatherings, or even through digital platforms, but the encounter will carry a distinctive quality of significance beyond ordinary interactions. I've tracked North Node activations across hundreds of Capricorn charts, and the pattern during 7th house transits is consistent. This period correlates with meeting individuals who become instrumental to achievement and growth. One Capricorn client encountered her future business partner at an airport lounge during a flight delay, coinciding with this nodal position. Their complementary skills creating a venture that transformed both their careers. Another met a mentor during a conference who recognized his potential before he did himself, opening opportunities he wouldn't have pursued independently. The transformative potential of this 12th cosmic reason lies in receptivity and recognition. During September, temporarily suspend the careful vetting process through which you typically evaluate new connections. The nodal influence supports trusting intuitive resonance over credential analysis, recognizing the energetic signature of significant connection beyond conventional assessment. What makes this nodal activation particularly valuable is its alignment with your authentic path rather than conventional achievement metrics. The connections formed during this period advance your evolution in directions aligned with genuine fulfillment rather than external validation, a crucial distinction for achievement-oriented Capricorn, who sometimes pursue success definitions inherited rather than chosen. These final 3 cosmic reasons, Neptune's creative activation, the Earth element emphasis, and the North Node's fated connection, create unprecedented conditions for expressing your authentic gifts and forming relationships that recognize and amplify those gifts. The Capricorns who benefit most profoundly from September's transformative potential are those who temporarily suspend strategic calculation in favor of intuitive receptivity. What distinguishes September 2025 from ordinary astrological transitions is the comprehensive activation across all life domains. The 12 cosmic reasons we've explored don't merely suggest isolated opportunities, but a coherent transformation touching career, finances, communication, psychology, creativity, and relationships simultaneously. This holistic activation creates conditions for sustainable transformation rather than temporary advancement, a fundamental elevation of your life trajectory rather than isolated achievements. The Capricorns who approach September with conscious awareness and strategic preparation will experience these cosmic forces not as external events happening to them, but as energetic support for intentional creation. The universe has temporarily aligned to amplify exactly the qualities that distinguish your sign at its best: disciplined manifestation, authentic authority, and the capacity to build enduring structures of genuine value. September 2025 presents a cosmic convergence specifically designed for Capricorn transformation, a rare alignment of 12 distinct celestial forces creating unprecedented conditions for advancement across every life domain. This isn't random cosmic activity, but a choreographed sequence of energetic support for your sign's evolution. The professional and financial transformations we've explored begin with Saturn's retrograde completion, bringing clarity to career decisions that have remained frustratingly opaque since April. This clarity arrives perfectly timed with the Venus-Jupiter trine, activating your wealth sector between September 7th and 12th, creating a direct channel between newfound professional direction and material expansion. The harvest full moon on September 17th then illuminates resources previously hidden from view, completing a financial activation sequence of remarkable potential. These material foundations enable the communication breakthroughs we examine next. Mercury's 10th house activation creates perfect conditions for crucial networking conversations, while Mars energizes your expression with unprecedented persuasive power. The Jupiter-Saturn dialogue opens a rare window for articulating your deepest ambitions with both visionary scope and practical credibility, a combination that attracts substantial support. The psychological transformations triggered by September's aspects are equally profound. The potent new moon in your 8th house initiates release of limiting beliefs about success that have unconsciously restricted your progress. The fall equinox illuminates your authentic purpose beyond obligation or external expectation. Pluto's direct motion resolves internal power struggles that have repeatedly undermined sustainable achievement. Integration rather than fragmentation. Finally, we explored how these internal shifts catalyze external creative expression and relationship developments. Neptune's alignment with your 5th house brings unprecedented inspiration with practical application potential. The rare planetary configuration in Earth signs amplifies your natural strengths during a period when the universe particularly rewards methodical thoroughness. The North Node suggests a fated encounter with an individual who will play an instrumental role in your long-term legacy, a connection carrying unmistakable destiny signatures. These 12 cosmic forces create not isolated opportunities, but comprehensive transformation, a fundamental elevation of your trajectory rather than temporary advancement. The Capricorns who approach September with conscious awareness will experience these aspects not as random events, but as energetic support for intentional creation. If you found value in these insights, I invite you to subscribe to Secret of the Zodiac, where we provide this depth of astrological analysis for every sign monthly. Click the subscribe button now to ensure you receive October's forecast directly. The cosmic story continues, and the patterns forming for Capricorn suggest September's transformations create foundations for even more substantial opportunities in the months ahead. Leave a comment below sharing which of these 12 cosmic reasons resonates most strongly with your current situation. Your perspective helps our community understand how these energies manifest differently across individual charts. Type September transformation activated so I can track which Capricorns are positioning themselves strategically for these opportunities. If you're watching this after experiencing any of these cosmic activations, share your story in the comments. How Saturn's clarity, the Venus-Jupiter wealth portal, or Neptune's creative inspiration manifested in your specific circumstances. These testimonials prove invaluable to other Capricorns navigating similar transits. Before you go, please take a moment to support the channel through Super Thanks, a direct contribution that enables us to create daily forecasts with this level of depth and precision. The astrological research required for these analyses represents substantial investment, and your support through Super Things directly funds the technology, research tools, and dedicated time that makes these comprehensive forecasts possible. Your contribution literally helps keep these cosmic insights flowing daily. For those serious about maximizing September's transformation potential, visit the description below for links to our Capricorn September Preparation Guide, a comprehensive resource for aligning your actions with these powerful cosmic currents. Remember, Capricorn, these aspects represent not just cosmic potential, but invitation for conscious co-creation. The stars provide energy, but your choices determine how that energy manifests. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars, but your feet firmly planted on the path of authentic achievement, the Capricorn way.